Best storylines of 2025. I can't believe how this year flew. Is it one of the better NFL seasons all time? Very personal thing. I'm not sure. You tell me. We'll discuss. I brought you the perfect guest for a New Year's Eve countdown, Mr. Rob Gronkowski, who he just can't get enough of Up and Adams, and he will be here. I think he's also in Vegas counting down like New Year's Eve on a major network. We're going to get into all that. I don't have the details. He certainly does. And by the way, college football and that action is resuming tonight. I'm a college football girly, kind of. I pretend to be. Cotton Bowl, I believe. And we bring you the future commish of college football, Josh Pate. I really want to just talk to his wife. We'll probably talk about her now. Happy almost New Year. Our last show of the year. We won't be here tomorrow. I'm going to hit the slopes. Hamilton. Hopefully I return safe and sound. And I was just texting you. What did I just text you and Chris?
What was the best NFL season of all time? What year?
I don't.
And it's a great question.
It's a very subjective thing for everyone, because if I were to ask our intrepid young producer, Cal Filson, who's a lifelong Patriots fan, yeah, you could easily go with like 2000s, 2010, like, take your pick of it, 2007, Brady's first ring, 2000, like a Ravens smash mouth football of 2000, right? Like Ravens defense. But I would like to know objectively, what is the best NFL year ever? And for me, the criteria would probably be some scoring, great games, high scoring games, none of that BS that you nerds like. And I think it would be the parity, which is on the table for this year. Which year had the most parity? Because those Brady years were fun for Brady and there was good football, but it sucked for everyone else for a long time.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about the parity, that's why that 2000 year sticks out to me, because it wasn't just the Ravens. Like everything in that AFC was wide open that year. The Titans were involved. The NFC too. The Giants end up going to the Super Bowl. They were no one's pick going into that year. They came completely out of nowhere. The Vikings were the hot team. The Giants blew them out in the NFC Championship game. That year was just a total mystery. The Jaguars were in the mix that year. Like it was one of those years where legitimately anybody could win it. And we got a Super Bowl that nobody would have predicted. Year? Oh, absolutely.
There's not a chance.
A formative year for me.
There's not a chance I watched a second of the NFL that year. I literally probably not a second. You were like 10 years old or something. 13, 14. Like, get out
13,
of here.
Yeah.
You remember? Not me.
That was a four. I remember that.
I came on in the Matt Forte years, a little bit later, end of Hester's career. I knew Hester and nothing else, but oh well. Okay, that's interesting. I would like to know, what is the best objectively, not for you personally, the best football year of all time? Could it be that it's 2025 with this parity? And maybe this will convince you. And thanks, Hammy. We went back and forth. We put together a list of the top 5 storylines of the 2025 season to say goodbye to that year. Of course, we're just ahead of the playoffs and huge games in week 18. But at number 5, as far as like things that got me going, things that turned me on in 2025, it's the Denver Broncos. Okay. And the season they had, which is still somehow going overlooked. I don't understand. More specifically, just the way that Coach Sean Payton called his shot. Nothing better. All preseason, all offseason, all training camp, coming into the year. This is a Super Bowl team. He spoke so vulnerably, confidently, openly about how he felt about this team, what he felt about this team, what this team's capable of. We don't really see coaches do that, and then you grab the 1 seed, which they're all but going to get unless they fall asleep during the game on Sunday against the Chargers, who will be resting their starters, of course. If you need a reminder, here's just a little taste of my convo with him back in August at Broncos camp. This team is giving you these contender vibes, right? That you've had 6 other teams before. This is the 7th roster where you're like, they've got it.
They have a chance at it.
They have a chance at it. Okay, got it. They have a chance at it. Okay, you decide where you want that Lombardi when all is said and done. I just love that. I feel like you're not giving me like the glare when I'm saying you're a contender. You're not.
It's okay.
You're comfortable with it. Let's go. If you watch me and you hear me like stuttering, I'm not comfortable with it because I wanted to give him the opportunity. This is in August to walk back or like, do you know what you're saying? You know what you're saying? You're putting a target on your own back. Don't do this to yourself, Sean. I was a believer. We know that. I'm a disciple of Sean Payton. We know that. However, I was a little nervous for him. I wanted him to say, and then when he said, no, I'm comfortable with that, I was like, foot in my mouth. I didn't quite know what to say. But I should have just shut up and blindly loved what he was saying because this team is the contender. They looked like it back then. They looked like a 1 seed bound team with that defense. They take the AFC West from the Chiefs. We don't know if they're going to give it back. They have a quarterback on a rookie contract and they're closing in on this bye. I still somehow think they're underrated. They're underdogs at home multiple times. You know that gets that lunatic going. Bo, Nick Bonito, the O-line so under. If you think best O-line, you were to go down Sunset Boulevard here in LA and ask 90 people, 85 of them are not saying, oh, the Broncos O-line's the best. They're still saying Eagles. They're saying everybody but the Broncos. I don't know. I don't think they've gotten the credit that they deserve. The job isn't done. And I will also say Coach Sean Payton deserves love in the Coach of the Year conversation that he never gets. And from what he's done in taking this team, turning it around, and what he's built and what he continues to build physically there on property and for the fans around the world is really, really impressive. So that's one of my favorite storylines. And number 4, okay, it's the gutsy way that Coach Mike McDonald and GM John Schneider have put together the Seahawks into a Super Bowl contender for years to come, question mark. It's very easy to forget the way that the season has gone, right? But they've made bold move after bold move. Take a look at this, right? Let's not all act like the Darnold signing was a no-brainer in hindsight. There was a lot of risk. There was so much negativity around the decision to move Geno. Geno's great. Geno's tough. He had a great year. To have the balls to say, nope, we love you, but you're not maybe the best we can do for us, the best fit. The way things ended in Minnesota, taking the risk of bringing Sam in for these big games, which at first was like, oh no, what are we going to do? That Rams game. And it's so vindicating, but we shouldn't forget that it was not a no-brainer. I mean, it could not have been easy if you're Schneider at your desk. I can't imagine. Mahogany desk, books, family photo albums, whatever. And you're like, man, I'm going to trade away a perennial 1,000-yard receiver in DK Metcalf. That's what I'm going to do because I believe that this rookie JSN is going to ascend. That's not easy to put the faith in Ernest Jones, the big extension, DeMarcus Lawrence, huge play after huge play after huge play. They drafted 2 of the league's most impactful rookies back in April. And then they were like, no, our balls are actually so big that we're going to also at the deadline, at the buzzer, bring in the speedster, Rashid Shaheed, who's a game changer. So I don't know if any team has faced tougher decisions in the year 2025, and every single choice has worked out. And number 3 on my top 5 storylines of the NFL season in 2025, it's Drake Mania. People think I hate him for some reason because I think it should be neck and neck with Stafford. We'll get Gronk's opinion on that. But Drake Mania has been amazing. I remember the day I met him. I was in the back of a car. I pulled over to interview him. He could not have been more kind. It was before he was even drafted. I caught up with him. It was my first training camp stop, hanging out with Drake May, how he built chemistry, his poise, the owner of the team who ushered in 20 years of Tom Brady telling me that he has his quarterback. I just blindly believed that. I did when Kraft said that. He wouldn't say that if he didn't believe it. And this MVP debate has really kicked things into gear. And this is one of the great breakout seasons that we've seen from a young quarterback. What a storyline. The numbers are bananas. Being the most accurate, the most efficient passer in the league at just 23 years old while letting it rip the way he does. It's sort of unbelievable. And he's obviously eye candy, popcorn, fun to watch. But I think the most impressive thing has been the consistency. And everyone says poise. I think it's consistency because that's the hardest thing to achieve in any sport. He hasn't had a stinker all year. So all of you saying he should get the MVP, he didn't throw 3 interceptions. You're not like, that's a fine argument. You know what you're getting out of him week in, week out. It's hard to do and super rare for a young quarterback. I can only think of one mistake he made. He threw an interception against the Bucs. It's like the only time I've ever looked up at the TV when he did something like a human. As a young quarterback, that's crazy. And the biggest reason the Pats have a chance to win it all. Okay, at number 2 on my list, let's get through these. We have Gronk on the show, Josh Pates on the show. The second best storyline of the 2025 season is the San Francisco 49ers getting set to play for the 1 seed. in a season where no one has talked about them. No one's had any excitement or expectation. And maybe that's valid because nothing has gone according to plan, which makes it a great storyline. I don't know if I've ever seen a team miss so many like key players and keep winning. I'm trying to think of one. I can't think of one. They've had their starting quarterback out, 2 all-pro defensive players out, their Hall of Fame tight end out, their wide receiver 1, their replacement wide receiver 1, their first-round pick all miss at least half the season, and they still are in position to win home field and make a run at a Super Bowl in their backyard, which is like so sexy that we've seen it so many times now. Rams, Buccaneers with Brady, and now maybe, the Brock Purdy, very Purdy Niners. I'd love to see it. Ultimate credit to Kyle Shanahan. So underrated. Huge credit to Brock Purdy, of course, undefeated, 6-0 after coming back, and Christian McCaffrey's really put the team on his back. And I can't wait to see what happens Saturday. Okay. What's your best storyline of the year? Let me know at Up and Adam Show. Here is number 1, according to me. It can't be anything but the NFC North champion Chicago Bears. I was looking at pictures of going to training camp and being so intimidated by Ben Johnson and just knowing that he was going to turn it around. And I'm not surprised with where they are. I am not surprised. And the impact of the coach cannot be understated with culture and all of that. But the reason that they're number 1 and the story, it's all Caleb Williams all of the time. I love him. I love his confidence. He's a little bit petty at the right times. He's perfectly petty. That's how I can put it. Like Petty Murphy at the right time. And he gets better every week. Even last week in a loss, he got better. And I think that'll make him better. There's these big moments out of him where they bring out his absolute best. The excitement he brings to my family, to people in Chicago, to businesses in the cold. Like what he has done to reinvigorate this sports town has been, it's just like a resurrection. It's unbelievable. And I feel the same way that I feel when I watch Caleb, that I feel watching Mahomes, that I felt watching Tom, Josh Allen at times, like just magic, Lamar. Like when they go to work, you're just like, it's magic. It's beautiful. And you never feel like a play is dead. And every time he drops back, you're just waiting for something spectacular to happen. And what he doesn't get enough credit for, I might say, and as a storyline that we should take into 2026, he really takes care of the football. 3rd best touchdown to interception ratio in the league this year. Doesn't get enough love for that. I love him for that. There's just joy. I think sports should be about pure joy and humanity. And also, I got to say, just like changing narratives or preconceived notions or low-hanging fruit of people being carrying themselves differently. And he has just told everyone F you with his play. He has said nothing. It's his play and that team around him. And I couldn't love him more. So Hamilton, it's like a love letter to Caleb. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I think he knows I love him. I think my whole family loves him. He can get free pierogies at the crib whenever he wants on the northwest side of Chicago. And I will say that playoff game, if all works out how I have crafted it, it's the Packers and them at Soldier Field, hopefully Saturday. Please be Saturday. And then, because it could be Saturday, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going. I'm not going to sit outside though. So I don't know how we figure. You'd be shocked to know that I've been to like 1 Bears game in my life. I know it's not shocking to Chicago fans, I'm sure. But I would like to be at Soldier Field. I think Adam and I need to go together. Don't you think? Me and my brother, that sounds like
absolutely.
Something.
Is he going to make you wear a cheese grater?
My brother snuck in an actual cheese grater, which how do you get that past security? I don't know. I can't even bring a pen in, thank God, because I don't like my brother brought in a real cheese grater at one point before, like this is like 10 years ago. I don't know. I got questions, but if you ever met my brother, you kind of don't have questions about how he was able to do that. Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a short break here. Those are my storylines. Let's take a look at them as we go to break. I think we have a little bit of a full screen. There you have it. What's yours? Which one matters most in 2026? Who wins the Super Bowl? Let us know. Gronk's on the show. He's getting ready. I don't know if he's actually going to be in Vegas. It's all like tricks of the TV. What we're going to play. Okay, you are. He is in Vegas. Okay, got it. 50 on black.
I could get a little New Year's music.
Just so you know, Derek, I hear nothing. It was like I was in a cave by myself. I'm not hearing any music. And if you talk to me, I couldn't hear anything. I was very nervous. We weren't even on the air. Are you sure? Okay, great. No problem. What? What's your favorite storyline? You like that? You think Stafford too?
Yeah, there were three that I think could have been included that we omitted from this list. Stafford's up there, the Jaguars and Liam Cohen and
Mhm.
everything they've done, and especially this second half of the season with Trevor Lawrence, and then the Texans starting 0-3 and having this
Yeah, that's fair.
historical run from their
I know
defense.
I want
So,
to get Nick
I mean,
Caserio on the show. Got to get the GM of the Texans on the show ahead of the
yeah,
playoffs. I would say the Jags thing isn't that impressive because it's all because of me. So like,
and
you know,
and Jackson DeVille, yeah,
right. As the
yeah.
Killers sang, started off with a kiss. How did it end up like this? You know? So like, I know that's the Bills thing, but like, we didn't go to Bills camp. Hey, Bills, maybe if I made out with your mascot, things would happen. They got the Kay Adams
He
bump, literally.
he tried a couple of years ago. Let's not forget that. But
He did. He did. Yeah. Yeah. All these mascots. It's like a reality show. We should sell that to Netflix. Me and the mascots.
yeah,
And also, it's like they
like
really and
the
they
Bachelorette, but mascots. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Well, I told you for a while there, I went to Colts camp and Blue would not even look at me. Blue, who's like, I would say my maybe my steadiest relationship. Blue would not look at me because I had just gotten back from Jacksonville and made out with his division rival. It was like a real
and
thing.
that's yeah, and it should be.
Yeah. So you're welcome to Jacksonville for swap and spit to get you guys into the playoffs. You're welcome.
What
Not
a start to
impressive.
today.
Mhm.
A lot of nice references from me on this New Year's Eve.
Oh, really? I'm in a mood. I'm in a little bit of a mood. I really am. Yeah. What? Let me enjoy my coffee. Yeah. Can I just say what a joy Gronk is for coming on our show on New Year's Eve? What a stud. I don't even
Yeah,
understand.
absolutely.
The best.
Maybe you should give him some extra points for that too. We'll see
You're,
how this goes.
I will.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The old world tight end, the 6'7" freak.
You can call me the GOAT.
Rob Gronkowski. Touchdown!
Oh my goodness. Go.
Holy guacamole!
Greatest of all time, yo, they call me the GOAT.
Gronk, is Holy Gronkamole one of your faves? What's like the fave thing you've ever been called? Holy Gronkamole is good.
Yeah, Holy Guacamole is really good. A lot of friends of mine, a lot of random fans, whenever I see them on the streets, they're like, I named my fantasy team after you. It's Holy Guacamole. And it just sounds pretty good. And last year I was actually sponsored by Avocados by Mexico. And we did a little campaign and we made Holy Guacamole as one of the dishes. And, you know, that was a campaign that was in all grocery stores across America last year. So, yeah, Holy Guacamole is legendary, Kay.
The checks write themselves for Rob Gronkowski. You're getting one after tonight, I hope. You, my friend, congratulations on this. You did it last year. It's Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. You are going to be in Vegas for the countdown. How much did the 4 Super Bowl parades you participated in prepare you for something like tonight?
Yes, the 4 Super Bowl parades only prepared me for the thousands
Look at you.
and
What
thousands
are you
of
doing?
people that are going to be around us. I'm dancing like a maniac there. The parades were the best parties in the whole entire world. Not even the New Year's Eve parties can top the parades. I can tell you that right now. But tonight's going to be epic. I'm going to be in Vegas. There's going to be 300,000 people here on the Strip. I'm actually counting down to New Year's Eve in middle of the Bellagio fountains.
Whoa.
Live on ABC on national television. So that's going to be epic. I mean, there's not going to be a better situation to be in counting down for New Year's Eve. And on top of that, we're going to be at the Cosmopolitan as well, for about 5 hours prior to that, just having a live show. We got the New Year's Rockin' Eve stage as well. We'll be going back and forth with Ryan Seacrest, who's hosting the whole entire thing. So I'm just a co-host. Julianne Hoff's a co-host with myself as well in Vegas. And Chance the Rapper is out of Chicago as a co-host as well. So it's going to be an epic night, Kay. You got to tune in.
Love that. I cannot wait to watch that. Congrats on that. It'll be so much fun. And like you said, it's not just you guys. It's so many. I heard Diana Ross is performing, dead. Love her. 50 Cent is my favorite. 50 Cent is at number one on my list of people to interview. I'm obsessed with him. Chapel Roan, part of the program. New Kids on the Block. That one stuck out to me. And you have a WAHLBERG connection. You guys go way back. What is your best WAHLBERG story? Any WAHLBERG?
Oh, well, here we go. Just talking about New Kids on the Block with Donnie Wahlberg. I'd never met him before, and I had a friend back in the day. Well, we're still friends, and it was about 12 years ago. He's like, yo, you want to meet Donnie Wahlberg and go to the New Kids on the Block concert in Boston? And I was like 23 years old, and I was like, of course, my man. Like, I want to meet Donnie Wahlberg. The Wahlbergs are great. They're legendary name in the Boston area. And he brings me to the New Kids on the Block concert, and I was like, yo, I got to have a little disguise since our seats are right in the middle. So I had these funky glasses on. I had my mustache, all grown out, and I kind of looked a little bit different and kind of worked the disguise. But we got there, and everyone knew who I was, obviously being in the city of Boston and being on the Patriots for 3 years. But I got to see an epic New Kids on the Block concert. That was the first time I've ever met I met the band as well, and met Donnie Wahlberg, and it was when they were making the comeback as well about 12 years ago. So it was really, really cool and to be in that situation.
I see Madison Beer's on this list of performers as well. She's publicly in a relationship with Justin Herbert, who's not playing. So you might see Justin Herbert out there somewhere here on New Year's as they rest up for probably the Patriots if things shake out as expected in the playoff picture. What would you ask Justin Herbert if you saw him tonight? If he was there, what would you go up and ask him?
Well, I'd first ask him, I want to congratulate him on a great year, and I just want to tell him how big of a beast he's been in the last couple of weeks playing with a broken left, wrist or forearm or whatever it is, broken hand. And then I would ask about his hand. I'll say, how you feeling going into the playoffs? I would get his tune and see where his head and mindset's at going into these big games this year. And I would also compare my size to him. I never met him in person. Justin Herbert's a big guy, and the way that he can run as the quarterback and throw the ball being that size is very impressive. So I would go back to back with him, and then I'd be like, yeah, I could have played quarterback too. And he would be like, yeah, I could play tight end too. So he seems like a really cool dude. So that's what would probably go down, Kay.
There's a great chance, I believe, Harrison, you can get on in here. There's a great chance that given this, the Chargers have something to play for. Their seeding isn't set. It's 5, 6, 7. There's a world they could take the Jags on, who of course beat them. But if they sort of stand pat and they lose this week to the Broncos, they will go on the road to face New England, right, Harrison?
Yeah, New England is the most likely opponent out of those scenarios. There's a chance they could go somewhere else, but it's probably going to be New England in the wild card round. So
they'll be rested. He's got the hand. That's already a thing. The offensive line, they've somehow survived it. What do you think of that Patriots matchup against the Chargers and Justin?
I think the Patriots are pretty well matched up if they go against the Chargers. I swear, everyone kind of keeps degrading the Patriots, like, oh, they didn't play anyone on their schedule. That was the schedule that was given to them. That's still NFL players that you're going against. That's still top of the line guys that were all Americans in college and were all first round picks still. It's just that they weren't a good team. They weren't well put together teams and weren't playing, good ball together, but they're still very talented guys, even though it was a weak schedule. So I think versus the Chargers as well, I never even thought about it. I was thinking that the Patriots were going to face the Buffalo Bills in the first round of the playoffs from the seeding that I looked at the other day. But, it's still a lot that can be played out going into week 18. But what they got to establish, going in is just to not turn over the ball. And that's what the Patriots were so good at this year, is just playing smart football. And if they do that versus the Chargers, I think the Chargers will eventually cough it up a little bit, and the Patriots will get some opportunities to get the turnovers and take advantage of that if they face them up and if they face them in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I was just saying that his like Drake May, we're all obsessed with him, but his touchdown to interception ratio is like insane for his age, for really any quarterback, but especially one as young as he is. I want to show you the playoff picture in the AFC so we can get this right. So here's the possible outcomes for the Patriots. The three most likely teams that they would face are the Texans, Gronk, the Chargers, like we just talked about, and the Bills, who you mentioned. So sorry to be crude and do it this way, but F, marry, kill those three teams: Texans, Chargers, Bills.
All right, if I had a, oh man, I would kill the Chargers.
Really? That means you don't want them?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? I don't want, like, for the Patriots to face them?
Yeah, like you would marry the matchup you want most.
Well, yes.
You would F the one that you're like, okay, I can survive this and, like, you know, go to confession in the morning.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. We're going to marry the Houston Texans then, because the Houston Texans have a wonderful defense, so you're always going to feel protected. Okay, yes. When you got a defense, when you got security,
I'm talking about if you're the Patriots. Okay, let's do this again. If you're the Patriots,
this is difficult.
Chargers, Texans, Bills. From maybe just rank from the team you want to face most to not most.
Okay, all right. I was going in a different direction.
I wasn't like literally asking you.
Yes. Well, I would say first off, I would take the Bills. I mean, already played them twice, should have beaten them twice, was up 21-0, and then they let down. I think they learned from that mistake. It was kind of good for the Patriots to lose that game. It really was. And they talked about that. Hey, we can learn from this situation. We're on a 10-game win streak. We didn't know what it's like, you know, to be up and then another team comes back. We were, you know, we were too high on ourselves at that moment. We let up in the game. It shows that we got to play all four quarters. And I believe with a coach like Vrabel, he's going to install into these players, you know, how to learn from that loss. And they sure have. They've been undefeated since. So if they go against the Bills, I think they match up against them great. They should be 2-0 versus them, like I said. And I think that would be team number one. And then team number two is the Los Angeles Chargers. We just talked about it a little bit. If they just don't turn the ball over, play their football that they've been playing as a Patriots team, I think they match up pretty well against the Chargers and can take them down by, you know, 3 to 10 points in the playoff game. But the team that would be most difficult is definitely the Houston Texans. I mean, they're so hot right now. What makes them great is that, like, their beginning of the year, they were just figuring themselves out. You know, they didn't know how to put it together yet. The defense, you know, didn't really step up yet. They were trying to play together as a team. The offense really wasn't there. Then all of a sudden, about a quarter of the way into the season, after like 6 games, they just took it to a whole nother level. And the Texans defense is just so freaking scary. You know, I think that's the team that would give the Patriots the most problems in the first round of the playoffs.
So you'd marry the Bills.
All right, marry the Bills. Yeah, and I'm from Buffalo, so I gotta marry the Bills.
The Texans, because that's the team you want least.
Yes, yes, that makes sense. So marry the Bills. I'm from Buffalo. I would F the Chargers because they're LA. So, like, you know, LA, Hollywood. So you gotta get it in real quick, and then
you gotta get it in really quick.
Yes, and then you kill the Houston Texans because their defense is just legit. You want no part of them.
No part of it. Too hard. Yeah. Not easy pickings. Question for you. When you were talking about the Bill, it kind of blows my mind that you pick the Bills out of those three. Like, if you could pick one of those teams to face, if you're the Patriots, it's the team that you have faced twice, lost once, and has the reigning MVP. Can you explain why Josh Allen isn't scary to you if you're the Patriots?
Oh, no. Let me tell you, Josh Allen is the scariest part of the Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen will always be scary as a player, no matter what, until he's not scary anymore. But it's the team of the Buffalo Bills. You can run on them. They don't really have the weapons for Josh Allen to pass to. If you can contain Josh Allen and not let him get out of the pocket, not let him run, not let him do his heroic stunts out there, you know, where all of a sudden you're like, wow, how do you do that? And then they're back in the game. If you can just, not let Josh Allen, do what he does. You have a spy on him. I think, that's why I picked, the Buffalo Bills, because it's not Josh Allen. It's because they don't have that, that team that I believe can take down the Patriots in the playoffs.
I think I would have disagreed with you, Gronk, but when you mentioned Vrabel and you're talking about it being the third time, you only really want that if you really believe you have the coaching advantage. So you're really saying a lot about Vrabel and Josh.
Actually, that's a great point as well. I really do think that the Patriots have the coaching advantage 100%. And McDermott and the Buffalo Bills coaching has not, shown up yet in the playoffs, to where it needs to be over the last couple of years. And even this year in some occasions in some of the games. So I would say some of it definitely goes down to coaching. A lot of it does, going into the playoffs as well. And Vrabel is on a pedestal right now. He's way up here, with me, and not just with me, but with everyone in the NFL. And I think the Patriots have the better coaching in that situation. So advantage Patriots once again.
Yeah, I'm trying to factor in the calculus, like the importance. I'd like the Patriots going to the Super Bowl would be so gnarly. It would be so fun. But I'm trying to factor in how much does experience actually matter? Because even if you look at those three teams, Josh Allen by far has more playoff experience than the other. But does it matter? This is one of those where I'm like, it doesn't freaking matter. What do you think?
No, it doesn't matter. And it's always played up to be so much every single year. Experience. Well, guess what? It's not about experience. It's about the team that shows up that given day, the team that shows up for those 3 hours and plays the best possible football that they can play, in that game. And experience, I would say, yes, matters a little bit, like 5%. Just, I would say, because of knowing the situations of the game of football. That's when the experience comes into play, is situational football. But I mean, every player's been in situational football if they've been playing throughout the whole year. But, there's so many situations that, yes, if you played 5 years, 6 years in the NFL and playoff games too, you understand, those situations more than the young guys. But overall, it's who comes out to play the best football, at that given Sunday or Saturday or whenever the game is coming up this weekend.
You don't know what day it is right now because you're so freaking busy doing your holy guacamole. Hey, does Tom Brady send holiday texts?
I don't think mass holiday texts, but
no, but are you gonna get Happy New Year, Gronk? You're the man. No, right? Or yes? Does he send
yeah, he does.
He does?
Yes, he does. He really
Tom
does.
Is so cute. That is the cutest thing I've ever. Does he really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually got one yesterday. It said Happy New Year's, Gronk. It was really cool.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
how does he have time to do that?
Tom. I mean, Tom's a great guy. He doesn't forget about his, old teammates that helped him out.
I know, but there's got to be a cutoff, Gronk. You're getting one, Randy's getting one, Julian's getting one, and then where does Chris Hogan get one?
And then
Probably
Kay
not.
Adams is next, and then Kay, you're next on the list. And
I've never gotten.
It's cut off
Tom,
right there.
Tommy, I've never gotten to have a good Christmas. I've never gotten anything. I've never gotten a babe text from him on a holiday. Tom.
Yeah.
That's so cute that he does that. I don't know why I just thought of that.
Tom's the best. He's a great guy all around.
He is. Okay, let's take a look at the AFC playoff picture here. You dominated it for so many years with Tom. And we're getting a good old-fashioned one here. Ravens, Steelers, winning in. Winner goes to the playoffs. Lamar Jackson, Gronk. So he's expected to practice today. He's beat up. Steelers 3.5-point underdogs at home, okay? What do you think this one comes down to and who wins?
All right, it's going to come down to what I've been saying the whole year about the Baltimore Ravens, and the coaching staff finally figured it out. You got to hand the ball to Derrick Henry. Even when they played the Steelers the last time, they kind of cut him off once again when he was getting on a roll. But that's the offense of the Baltimore Ravens. Is Lamar Jackson playing in this game? I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet.
He's practicing today. They're going to see.
But it doesn't matter with how his inconsistencies has been. He hasn't been throwing the ball that great. Who knows if he can even run because of his injuries. He's all over the place right now. But they got to stay consistent with handing that ball to Derrick Henry. They finally did it last week because Derrick Henry, if you go look at his stats and his production over the last 10 years or whatever, this guy gets better better as the season goes on, and he needs more handoffs. That's just how he's built. That builds up. That's how he's fueled, as a human being. Like, he was just born for these situations, to run the ball 25 to 35 times a game and just wear down defenses. And they finally did that last week when he went for 4 touchdowns and how many yards he went for. And if they do that again, they can control, the line of scrimmage. They control the time of possession. They take away the ball from the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, which isn't that great right now without DK Metcalf. So I say, if the Baltimore Ravens hand that ball off to Derrick Henry over 25 times, they win this game.
Which I don't know if they'll do, because they are inconsistent, and it's weird. You had the Steelers winning the division, I remember.
Yes, I do. I mean, it's going to be a great game. Like, this is what you want week 18 to come down to, is like, this is ultimately, truly, Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers are both in the playoffs right now, okay? Because whoever wins, he goes on, and whoever loses go home. So the playoffs are extended right now. That's what you want in week 18 of the regular season.
But going home is more meaningful in this one, because there's like an Aaron Rodgers part to this. Lamar's coming back. There's trade rumors. He's not, how does this end for Aaron? That's what I'm thinking. How precious is this game? Is this his last game if they lose? How does it end for Aaron, you think?
Well, for Aaron Rodgers, I talked about it week 1, is that, he doesn't want to be the guy, going into maybe his last year as a player, maybe last year as coach Mike Tomlin's, last year for head coach Mike Tomlin for coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers. He doesn't want to be the reason why, the organization tanks and Mike Tomlin is gone. And let me tell you, he has not been one bit. Aaron Rodgers has been playing up to par. He has been doing his part. I would say the Pittsburgh Steelers are struggling, more as a team as a whole than Aaron Rodgers struggling. He's not. He's 41 years old, and he's producing at a very, very high level still. He's making the great throws. They just got to come together. They've done it sometimes this year where they did come together and have a complete game. Defense has been iffy, and usually that's the strong suit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But with Rodgers, say if he does go home, I don't truly think it affects his legacy, because he has been playing solid football. And you got to remember, this is a team sport as well. So legacy sometimes does base off of how many games and how far you go into the playoffs, all that stuff. Did you win that year? Well, also you got to look at how well did they play, and was the team around you supportive as well. So in this situation, I don't think it affects. I feel like he does have one more year as well. Like, he played so well. He looks healthy out there. He takes hits. He gets right back up. And it looks like he's enjoying himself, too. It's not like, he looks like a miserable quarterback. He's making plays. I think he does come back for one more year after this.
We know what he looks like when he's miserable. We've seen parts of that this year. But I do wonder, like, whether they lose this weekend, don't get into the playoffs, or they get in and lose on a Saturday afternoon like the Steelers have done recently. I don't know that I have the confidence that he can go win the Super Bowl right now. It would be such a freaking good story, though. And then he could do the walk-off Tom Brady Peyton, which he's always wanted. I love Aaron. I want that for Aaron. I don't know. And the DK thing really messed this up. It's hard for me because part of me is like, man, if he just gets in, could he take them to the Super Bowl? I don't know that I'm there. But I also don't think he's going to take his ball home and just decide to retire and never be heard from again. Because I do think when Aaron retires, we're never going to see Aaron again. I think that's true.
I think that's true too. But now that the paparazzi and the media all knows that he's going to disappear, it's going to be a manhunt. You're going to hear from him again, because it's going to be, where's Aaron Rodgers? It's going to be like, where's Waldo? And eventually you find Waldo if you sit there long enough, and stare for him. So that's what it's going to be. And you're going to hear from him, not him personally, but you're going to hear about him because some, paparazzi or some media person is going to figure out where he is and then write a story. And that's the only way you're going to hear from him. And you're going to be interested, wow, what is he doing? What's going on with Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. I think he's pretty good at keeping secrets, that one. Okay, we'll see what he can do. So you're picking the Ravens in that game, hedging it on if Derrick Henry gets 25 carries.
Yes.
Way to go out on a limb, Gronk.
Yeah, that's how I roll, Kay. You gotta have an out every single time.
Yeah. Harrison's yelling at me. Harrison, why are you're blowing my phone up? What's your problem, Harrison? We got to go to break.
Yeah, I think it's about time.
All right. Gronk needs a water break, as we always do here on the show. He's got to get hydrated for tonight. We'll be back after this with Prop-A-Shot, and we'll talk more Week 18 games after this. And I want to talk about incentives. Cam, tell me what you want me to do here. I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, let's do some of this incentive stuff here in break.
Okay, so Hammer, I'll take one. You take one. Ready? Here's the deal,
Okay.
Gronk.
Let's do it.
You have the most famous incentive catch of all time. Week 18, 2021. Brady clearly hooked you up. We've talked about it. And I want to take a look at some of the other guys. Let's see. Do we have a list or something, Ham? What is this? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Ham,
so
you
we have
just-
a list right now of guys that are closing in on incentives. Keenan Allen needs 6 receptions for $750K. We got Saquon 87 scrimmage yards away from a $250K bonus, and so on. So Gronk, when you look at this list, who do you really like to hit that mark and get that big incentive?
Hamilton, I'm just going to go through the whole list real quick and just give my thoughts and who's going to hit it and who's not going to hit it. Keenan Allen, he needs 6 receptions, $750K. That's easy. Keenan Allen's experience. He knows how to get those short, receptions as well. They can just toss him the ball on some quick screens. So yes, he hits it. Saquon Barkley, 87 scrimmage yards. So that just means he can either run for 87 or receive 2 for 87 and combine them. He just needs 87 total. He hits that for $250K. Deebo Samuel, 93 receiving yards. I don't think he hits it. He hasn't hit over 90 yards many times this year. That's $450,000. I think the Washington Commanders will be saving. They need it in their salary cap for next year as well. But $450K is not that much. It doesn't make that big of a dent, but everything helps. We got Calais Campbell. Absolutely love this guy. I was always so scared to block him. He just needs 1 sack. He is gigantic. He Morse over me. He's going to get this sack because he's such a great guy. I love him so much. Hunter Henry, according to Tom Brady, the best tight end in history of the New England Patriots. He's got to get 5 receptions. Hook him up, baby. He hits the $250K. Hollywood Brown.
No way.
Yes, he gets the 5. Hey, Kay, watch out. We got Hollywood Brown. He's Mr. Hollywood. They're not going to the playoffs. He's already checked out. He's in LA being Hollywood. He does not get it. And then the final one, Sam Darnold, he's going to hit it because he's on a roll this year. He's going to hit the 150 passing yards, but not the 3 touchdowns. So he'll make $500,000.
Gronk, where is that incentive from way back then, 2020, whatever? Where is that money right now?
Yeah, well, I brought the whole offense basically out to dinner to Meat Market in Tampa, and a couple, about 8 figures of that is in Meat Market right now, is in a lot of the ribeye steaks that are in our stomach. And then the rest is just invested right now for my retirement, my IRA funds.
How boring and wonderful. You're so smart, Gronk. I'd be like, my shoe closet. Okay, we'll be back in a couple of seconds. Gronk thinks everyone's getting paid, which we love. Gronk missed.
No, there was like 3 that won't hit it.
Ham, take a break. Go for it.
All right, it is time for Prop-A-Shot. We are heading into the last week of the regular season, and we've got a game again. Gronk, you went 2 for 3K. You were shut out last week, so Gronk is back to within a point of the lead. We are doing all Saturday games this week since we don't have Thursday night football. Kay, we're going to start with you with Bucks-Panthers. The line for Bryce Young's passing touchdowns is 1.5. Does he go over that?
Oh my gosh. I can't believe I didn't get. I was 0 for 3. Is that for real?
0 for 3 on Christmas Day.
Nobody checks your homework, which is why this is so BS, because I'm sure you're lying.
There we go.
I'm gonna say over for Lil Bryce because he's come up big. Okay, Lil Bryce big in these must-win gamer situations, Mamba mentality for Carolina. Tampa, love you, Gronk, love ya. Won a Super Bowl there. I know their defense has been struggling. I think he hits it, and he gets one to Tetaroa.
All right, Gronk, we're sticking with that game. The line for Mike Evans receiving yards is 52.5. You like the over there?
Well, Hamilton, before I pick, I just got to stress for an extra point, and let me tell you why. So I'm hosting New Year's Eve, New Year's Rockin' Eve here in Vegas, and the last 2 nights I've been at rehearsals, and last night I was up till 2 a.m. rehearsing so we can put on such a great show for millions of people here tonight in Las Vegas and in front of 300,000 people, and that's 2 a.m. Pacific time. So I go to bed at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I was up till 5 a.m. Eastern. I only got 4 hours of sleep, and I'm on the show right now. I deserve an extra credit point, and I'm going with Mike Evans over 52.5 yards as well.
You know, Gronk, you are a man of the people. The sacrifice today and the teamwork is unbelievable. I'm going to take it into consideration. I'll deliberate on this over the next week and
Gronk,
have an answer for you when we do this next week.
All right.
Gronk, your whole shtick, your whole bit, your gimmick is I don't sleep, I'm up all night, I'm partying, I'm here and there. Come on.
Yeah, but not the mornings are always rough for me. Okay?
That's
Usually
true.
I need some time, to get me going, and I literally got right out of bed and hopped right onto the Kay Adams show, and I'm starting to wake up now. At the beginning of the show, I was like, oh, this is tough. You're asking me these hard, dang, freaking football questions.
I really
so that's what
am.
I'm saying.
I'm
I
asking
deserve
you,
an extra point.
Listen,
F, Marry, Kill is like mind numbing. I know, it's really tough.
Listen, he's the best the best teammate there is. All right, we're going to move to the Seahawks 49ers game. Kay, this one's for you. The line for Christian McCaffrey's rushing yards is 67.5. You going over or under that?
How come it's so low? They got a great defense. What is 67.5?
Yeah.
Over. He's got back-to-back 100-yard games. This is a stupid line. Over.
That's stupid.
All right, Gronk, we're going back to you. The Seahawks side of this, Jackson Smith and Jigba's line for receiving yards, 102.5. That's a big one. Does he go over or under?
Man, I'm pretty sure I thought about it yesterday when I saw this line, and I think I picked under. He's going under.
One anytime touchdown score for Niners Seahawks.
I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey as well. I need points. I'm just taking the low hanging fruit here. Minus 190. Good value. Not good value for a guy who scored in 6 straight games. I love that. Go.
All right, Gronk. One anytime touchdown score for Bucks Panthers.
Yes, I'm taking Rico Dowdle. How can I not? They got a solid run game, and they got to hand the ball off to him.
Okay, I have an idea. Ready? Ham?
Let's see.
All right,
If Gronk says Harrison on the broadcast tonight in any way, he gets an extra point.
Well then, hey, Hamilton, that'll be 2 extra points then for
That's not
coming on
bad.
the show.
If you say Harrison, I'm okay with that. If he says
rehearsals.
Harrison, then he gets 2 points. I will allow that.
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
He's going to forget. I feel good about this. Okay, here it is. So you don't forget to recap. Bryce Young throwing for 2 or more touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey over a stupid line, says Gronk and myself, 67.5 rush yards. What is that? And he'll get into the end zone. Gronk has Mike Evans going over 52.5. JSN under 102.5. And Rico Dowdle scoring a touchdown in Bucks Panthers. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest, Gronk and company is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Good luck to Arizona, by the way, playing SMU Friday night. We love you, Gronk. Happy New Year.
All right, Kay. Happy New Year. See you next year.
Bye, can't hear him, but goodbye.
Bye.
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 Hamilton, that will be very funny if he does that for you.
That will be hilarious.
Yeah. We're going over there in the control
Do we
room.
want
Good?
to?
Feeling good?
Do we want to get started now? Just so we can make the most of it.
I need a second.
Okay.
But I want to get to some
Okay.
things. Yeah, Josh is.
Totally.
We should let him. We want to get through a bunch of stuff, so we should. Can we let him know? I don't know if he can hear me, but I have a bunch of questions for him. You guys ready?
I have questions about this hat, but yeah,
No, I do what I want.
it should be good. Yeah.
Okay, here he is, college football guru, host of Josh Pate's College Football Show, future college football commissioner. Me and your wife are best friends on Twitter now. I love her. Josh Pate, how are you? Happy New Year.
She's waving from behind the camera there. She's big fan. Big on Kay Adams here headed into 2026.
I love her. We have to book her to get on the show and get what's really going on with the future commish. But let's get to some of this. This is crazy. Miami, Ohio State, OSU. I saw you have them winning, but they could be on upset alert, huh? What is the biggest thing that could hold them back from repeating?
Look, the line on the game is like 9.5 to 10.5, depending on when you've looked at it this week. And I'm thinking to myself, normally when I see that, it's because some team has a big edge on the line of scrimmage or quarterback or both. And in this case, I'm not going to say these are glaring edges, but there may be moderate to significant edges on the line of scrimmage for Miami here. There's at least a quarterback experience edge with Carson Beck. Now, Carson Beck's been very up and down in his career, so I don't really know which version of him we're going to get tonight. But if we turn on that game and it's like late first quarter, early second quarter, time ticking down to the half, and Ohio State sort of stuck in the mud and they look no different than they did against Indiana, then that's the kind of game Miami wants, because that's the kind of game where it gets shrunk and there's a lot more variance inserted into the equation. That's the kind of game Miami could win, because that's the kind of game Indiana won against Ohio State a few weeks ago.
It's good logic from you. FanDuel, by the way, has a 30% PBT on any wager for this game tonight, as long as the pre-boosted odds are minus 200 or longer. So get over there. If you could throw that PBT on one prop, what is it?
I've got it right here. Not on the back. Ignore all the stuff on the back. Okay. I would like you to give me, courtesy of FanDuel, Miami over 175 receiving yards. I don't believe the Carson Beck that we saw in what was basically a tropical storm in College Station is the same Carson Beck we're going to see in controlled, sterile, 0 mile per hour wind conditions tonight. I think he'll have a fair amount of success throwing the ball. We've seen him do it before. I do need someone other than Malachi Toney to step up and catch the ball for Miami, but that's for Mario Cristobal to figure out. I'm just the one placing the bet.
What you said. I don't know what you're 175 receiving plus. I thought in your first answer you didn't like Carson Beck, but you do like him. You like him in a controlled setting that matters. The conditions, guys, go put that 30% PBT on that. Let's move on to the Rose Bowl. Alabama, Indiana. I remember from the preseason, from watching all your stuff on YouTube, you liked the Tide. You like them. I think you like them again here. We got two coaches that Rose Bowled themselves to the top of the sport. Who do you like? Who has an advantage coaching wise?
Oh, man. I don't know that there is an edge staffing wise here. These two are the best staffs in the country. I know everyone thinks DeBoer versus Cignetti, and I do too. Like, I'm not trying to sound counterculture here or anything, but if you look past those coaches, Kay, Ryan Grubb has dialed up some insane stuff on 3rd and 4th down for Alabama offensively this year. Kane Womack's defense has quietly been what's allowed them to get where they are, but I think maybe the best assistant coach in the country this year was Bryant Haynes. I voted for him for the Broyles Award, which goes to the top assistant in the country. That's Curt Cignetti's defensive coordinator, who he somehow kept with him for over a decade, which must mean the quality of life is pretty good for coaches and players under Curt Cignetti. So it's a really good, like, A-level versus A-level staffing matchup here.
Who's winning? I don't know why I asked you that. I shouldn't have. Who's winning this game?
Who cares
Indiana,
about coaches?
-7.5. I'm asking you about assistant coaches. I have 5 minutes with you to get these answers. Come on. Who we got?
Alabama. Alabama's going to win the Rose Bowl. I'm going to get the rain out of there. I know you're concerned about it. We're both dressed for the weather right now. No, we're going to get the rain out of there. And I think Ty Simpson in Alabama, I got it on good authority. That team is as healthy as they've been since scrimmage number 2 of fall camp. So somehow they've gotten healthier as they've gotten later in the season. Center position being healthy is important there. Josh Cuevas at tight end being there. But they're getting LT Overton back, not from injury, but from a medical situation. That's their best defensive line guy. Indiana has lost their best defensive line guy. I think Alabama's going to play at the highest level you've seen them play since probably the Georgia game early in the year. And it may surprise some people, but if you know anything about the health of that team, I don't think it should be a shock. So Indiana's favored and should be. I think the version of Bama you're going to get does not look like the version that you saw in, let's say, the SEC championship game a few weeks ago.
I do. This Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, it's just like stuffed down my throat everywhere I look all of the time. The more images of Lane Kiffin than one could even want. Ole Miss, I know they have a shot here to avenge what was, I think, their only loss of the season, right? Sugar Bowl, Georgia. no Lane Kiffin. What do I need to know? And how do you think this one goes? Because I know that you have them winning and covering at -6.5, but like, why?
Yeah, but I didn't actually bet it. I just picked it. So I don't feel that great about it.
Okay.
The reason I'm shrugging my shoulders and I'm tensing up a little bit is I think George is facing the most dangerous quarterback in this tournament. And that includes Mendoza, that includes Ty, Dante Moore, all these guys. Trinidad Chambliss was making his first SEC road start when they faced Georgia the first time around. And they scored touchdown. Those were their first 5 drives against Georgia, all touchdowns. Now, it just so happened Georgia needed to score 40 to win, and they did. And Gunnar Stockton played his best game of the year. It's like Gunnar Stockton always takes a back seat, and yet he's the guy emerging when the dust settles. But that's because he's got a better team around him, respectfully, than Trinidad Chambliss. But if you think about, I don't believe in the basketball-football comparison thing, but if you watch the NCAA tournament and a guy gets hot from 3 and he carries a team to like the Elite 8 or the Final 4, Trinidad Chambliss in football terms is the guy in this tournament of the remaining teams that has the potential to do that. And there is no team playing with a more us against the world mentality right now than Ole Miss after your boy, Lane Kiffin, said bye.
That's my boy. Because my boy, this is a stupid question. I know there's some, Trinidad wants another year, right? He wants another year of eligibility.
Don't we all?
Is Lane going to get him?
All right, now you're pulling me over into a ditch that I don't like getting in, and that is
that
the
a bad
portal.
question?
That is the no. It's a good question. I just hope that you wouldn't press me on it. This is the portal rumor ditch. It's a dirty, dirty place in college football.
Oh.
I heard, and this is between you and me, no one else. Okay. We'll keep this between us.
Okay.
I heard that Lane is going after Brennan Sorsby, who is the quarterback at Cincinnati, and I don't know what that means about Trinidad Chambliss. So again, that's just between you and I. Don't share that with anyone.
Okay, so here's the guys who are eligible. Okay, God, and you think he's going to go for this Sorsby kid?
That's the rumor on the portal streets right now. But as you know about the portal streets, they are very, very unpredictable. They're not on GPS. It just says it's like the little twirl of death when you get on the portal streets. There's no direction. There's no guidance. It's largely a freak show out there. I like to stay away from it.
I think I like that kind of chaos. I want to be in the portal. I like that. Would you get rid of the portal as one of your first? Is that what you would do? Nuke the portal as commish?
Of course not. No. I would like to just like keep the street, but like maybe put some guardrails on it. Like paint lines on it. I just don't want it to be a demolition derby out there. I would like there to be a little bit of order.
Last one for you. We got a minute left. This is perfect. It's the Orange Bowl. Oregon, Texas Tech. You know how I feel about that landing. They've waited a full year to get back to this point. They got smoked by Ohio State last season. Is there pent-up energy? Does that carry them? What's affecting this matchup? Because I know you got Oregon covering.
I would encourage you, if you have some free time later today, go watch the Locker Room episode with me and Will and Taylor, just the preview of this game. I think it's the best content we've done all year. Anyway, I think Oregon's going to win this game. One of my favorite props of the year is Oregon over 138.5 rushing yards in this game. I think they're going to have more success running the ball against Texas Tech than anyone has all year. If I'm right about that, it will happen as the script of an Oregon win. If I'm wrong about that, it's going to be hard to find me tomorrow. Because if I'm wrong about that, that game's going to go really sideways on me.
Okay, do you understand the gems, the New Year's gift that Josh is dropping for everybody? Happy New Year to you, to beautiful Savannah. Safe travels. I hope you get to enjoy a little bit of it, and a toast and cheers to you, all your success. We'll talk to you soon.
We appreciate it, Kay.
Bye. We'll be back tomorrow, I guess. I don't know what's happening, but I think we're off the air. Goodbye.